and my next guests have the pleasure of giving out one of these. This is the Women of Distinction Awards, which will be next month, coming up at the Wingate in Dieppe. The YWCA has a very big hand in that, of course, and Jewell Mitchell and Sherry Trenholm. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight.
Great, thank you for having us.
As we will be able to talk about getting one of these. Yes, the Women of Distinction Awards. And this one actually has a very interesting story, and Sherry, I'll let you tell that because you just told it to me. But these lovely awards have only been around for a little bit, but in your case, as this is your personal one, this one's a little bit longer than that, so maybe we can tell that story.
And the actual award, the wood, was carved by Ray Legier, and his daughter is a board member currently that's on the board. When I received the Women of Distinction in 2008, which was the second year the YWCA presented the awards, that statue didn't exist. And I've had the pleasure since 2008, I've actually attended every Women of Distinction awards ceremony, both in Moncton and St. John. And I shared with the staff how much I loved presenting that to all the recipients, and that I really wish that I would have had the opportunity to receive one. And so the staff actually surprised me at the national meeting in 2015 or 2016. Basically, I wasn't aware of it, and they had it made, and the plaque on it represents the year that I received the Women of Distinction. So I was quite surprised and honored, and there was a few tears shed as a result of it, so it was really touching.
No, that's awesome, and these are, as you say, I mean, eloquently carved, just excellent detail on that. We'll get it on this one here. Maybe we can certainly have a zoom in a little bit later and take a look at the intricacies of the detail of that, because it is very impressive, and this is what our Women of Distinction will be going with in April. So maybe we can discuss the Women of Distinction Awards and exactly what will go on at that event next month at the Wingate. So let's talk about it. What goes on at the Women of Distinction Awards?
Well, Women of Distinction Awards, that's a signature event for YWCAs all over Canada. And the Winged Lady, as we like to talk about in the statuette form here, is presented to various women for different things. For us, we've got 3 new categories this year. And we're going to be presenting awards to extraordinary women in the field of young advocacy. So a woman under 30 who's done some pretty interesting advocacy work will be presented with an award. We have outstanding mentorship. So really looking in that professional field where there's women that really, not only are excelling in their field, but they're reaching back, they're helping out, they're mentoring, they're making way for others. And then we're going to present one for legacy leadership. So, that large scope, multiple sectors, or really just that impact in the community. So that's who will walk away with awards. But this year also is very different because we will be recognizing all of our nominees in that night. We really want to just take this time to celebrate women, their accomplishments, network, recognize and celebrate is really the theme for the night. And so I think it should just be a very special, fun time. And we will announce who will take home the statuettes at that time.
All right, so that will be a very fun event. And,
Yes.
and in speaking of nominations are still open.
They are.
Until later this month, on the 16th of March. So where can people get their nominations in? What are you guys necessarily, you don't want to say looking for, but what are you guys necessarily, what are the criteria, in terms of the nominations that you guys are going to be browsing?
Absolutely. So we really look for what the impact has been for women and girls, particularly in our community, or community impact, and just that whole idea of not only excelling in your field or what you're passionate about, but how have you helped others to also enjoy in that success. So that's really important. So that's really what we look for.
Sherry, you've said you've been to every one of them so far. So maybe you can explain kind of the whole experience. What's it like to go and visit and check out one of these events?
It's absolutely amazing. Just the opportunity to meet women that are in the community that are just doing incredible work in the community, volunteering, inspirational, leaders without a doubt, and being part of it. So it's a very moving ceremony. You hear the introductions for each one, but you also, each person that is a recipient actually also does a bit of a speech, and they are tremendously moving. And so I've had the pleasure where I have been in tears because it's been such a moving. I had an opportunity at a Women of Distinction where we had someone was a recipient in arts and culture that actually performed on stage. So I was on stage because I was presenting the awards, so part of that. So it is something that I look forward to every year. It's just a privilege to be sharing this experience with these wonderful women that we have in the community. So it's really a great opportunity to come out and participate in this and celebrate.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that will be just a little bit of what's in store next month at the Wingate in Dieppe. Can we talk a little bit more, as I know you're a past winner, are there a couple of examples that really stick out for you among past winners that maybe are just above and beyond? They're ones that you look to and say, wow, this is really incredible. And I know I'm kind of putting you guys on the spot a little bit, but is there anything at all that sticks out in your mind?
There's a number. We must have more than 50 Women of Distinction in Moncton since we started. We have people like Mayor Arnold is a recipient. Jeanette Petapala-Taylor is a recipient. We have there's
both
so
friends
many.
of the show, which is awesome.
That's
too.
right.
Yeah.
You know, and I hate to call out any specific ones because they're all so meaningful in their particular fields. But those are some that people would absolutely know. Claudette Bradshaw. Last year we honored Julie McKenna, Miss Margaret McCain, and Mrs. Jeannie S. Irving. You know, so there's the company is great, and it's very it's varied around why they would be selected. Yeah, but there's lots, and we have the list on our website, so people should go and peruse. And there's photos from each year, and you would get a sense.
And that's YWCAMoncton.com, by the way.
That's right.
That you can go and check out all the information that you need. Wingate in Dieppe, April 13th, will be the Women of Distinction Awards. Now, we've talked about the new categories, but for those who aren't necessarily brushed up, what are some of the other categories as well that people can make nominations for?
Well, those are the 3. So we normally would have had 8 very distinct categories, and this year we've gone with just those 3. So we're leaving them a little bit broader, a little bit more open, and so we're looking to see who that will attract and what ladies get nominated, and we're really excited about that. And I should thank we've got a couple of awesome presenting sponsors, CCNB and Dieppe, they've been great, and Grant Thornton as well have come on board. So it should be a really fun event.
Now you talk about narrowing down the categories to 3. Is that just to kind of keep it as broad as possible, or did you find that putting different categories was a little bit more difficult in establishing exactly where it was, or did you find it a little bit easier with just 3 categories?
Well, we've changed the setup.
Formats changed. Share that too.
Yeah. So we used to have nominations. We used to make the selection, and then we used to present awards.
Right.
This time, what we wanted to do with all of that's going on, we just wanted to celebrate female accomplishments, women. We want men and women to come and just enjoy and celebrate together. So we wanted to have all the nominees there. We didn't want to do the selection prior. So we thought we want to bring and celebrate all the nominees, and we really need to narrow down the categories so that we can really do that. So that's the idea. We want to celebrate everybody who's nominated, and then we'll select 3 for above and beyond. We'll get the statuettes, but it is really the broader the categories, the more interesting women and accomplishments we're going to be able to see and find, and then we'll decide from there if we want to add some more or what we want to do. But it was a time just to switch it up a little.
Yeah, see how it works. And and I urge everyone out there who is listening, who's watching, tomorrow is International Women's Day, of course.
Yes.
And if you're going to, if you want to kind of make a mark on International Women's Day, nominate somebody.
That's right.
Get on in there and nominate somebody. YWCAMoncton.com is the place to go for all the information, for everything that you could possibly look for in terms of this. It is April the 13th. The Wingate in Dieppe will be hosting it.
That's right.
It's going to be awesome.
It is.
So be sure to check it out. We've got about a minute and a half.
Okay.
And I realize that that's not necessary. That's obviously not enough time to to really get into the depths of what the YWCA does for the community. But maybe we can take about a minute and really kind of discuss quickly, you know, the effects of the YWCA in the Greater Moncton area. Just a little taste of what you guys have to offer.
Absolutely. Our spectrum of service has grown so much since we've started to occupy the Center for Women and Children on 135 Kendra Street. And so we have a full licensed daycare now, which caters to infant care as well for people, you know, who are looking for infant care. We have housing programs. We have an on-site GED or adult learning program. We've just received funding from the Canadian Women's Foundation to do a 5-year employability through entrepreneurship. So it's called Employment My Way, which is really exciting. We're looking forward to so many different things. So I really do. I suggest people look at the website. Also, Facebook is a great way to see what's going on. We have our calendar comes out, but there's life skills, financial literacy, all kinds of youth programs.
Everything's up there.
That's
Everything's
right.
up there, and it's worth checking out.
I should say that we are now. I'm now the executive director, also of Big Brothers Big Sisters. We've brought them together, and that's a really cool thing that's happening as well.
Awesome. So YWCAMoncton.com, the place to go, and the Women of Distinction Awards coming up next month. Could see some of these out of the Wingate Dieppe. We'll be back.